When you come to Izzy's, you may notice something a little bit different about our customers. It's the way they eat our pan pizza. You see, Izzy's pan pizza crust is so good. People eat the crust first. It's no surprise to us. We know we've created a great pizza crust, any way you look at it. And remember,
Izzy's Pizza plus a whole lot more.
Hello. We are back at the abandoned Izzy's Pizza in Buffet in Beaverton, Oregon. Some of you may remember the video I made of this place back in 2022 from the outside. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description below. Now the reason I have returned to this place is because I found a way in. So let's go for it, shall we again? Well look, the building is going to get turned into a new strip mall. The Izzy sign used to be up there, by the way. There's a poster that still says for lease. Here's the main entrance, which we're about to magically enter. Ta-da, we are officially inside an abandoned Izzy's Pizza. That's an old school Izzy's logo from the 80s, I believe. I'm not sure when this building was built, but maybe it was sometime in the mid-80s. The wallpaper is slowly falling apart, which is sad. There used to be buffet hours in those black frames. Wow, the floor is so messy. Half the walls missing, and I remember seeing that the first time I filmed this place. Now let's head over to the lobby. Here we are. Man, this building smells just like a typical thrift store. I'm seriously not lying. And Jesus Christ, the place is in a very rough shape. I believe this pizza buffet restaurant went out of business sometime around mid-2016 because the lease expired. There must have been the old register right where the counter used to be, with several wires sticking out of the concrete floor. Not sure why they removed it. Over here, there used to be the waiting area. Here they have a few benches, candy machines, and sticker machines. I don't think they have arcades at all. I think there used to be a screening door over there. This is the entryway to the kitchen, which we will explore later on. Anyway, this section here is the old dining area. There would have been tables and chairs here back then. The missing wall had a light booth too. Not sure why there are washer and dry machines here. I don't know if they belong to the kitchen or if they were just placed there randomly. Otherwise, what do we find? The inside is seriously depressing, not gonna lie. Over here, this used to be the video lottery room. There was a door here at one point, but it's been removed. Not sure why though. I'm guessing there would have been about 6 slot machines in the past. In Oregon, restaurants and bars may install up to 6 Oregon lottery video terminals, which are state-run machines that generate revenue between the Oregon lottery, the state, and the business. Before that became a thing, I believe this area might have been an additional dining space back in the early days. Those brick walls look very cool to me, especially with the painting near the counter. The floor tiles seem to be in pretty decent shape, if I'm being honest. Got more mess over here. That drywall used to have a green wall. I don't know why most of the color has been removed. Maybe the original wall was getting outdated or something. There used to be several booths right next to those windows. And of course, the hanging light features are still around. I don't know why it was a good idea to get rid of all these seatings and tables. It doesn't make much sense, in my opinion. Here's the other door. Pretty sure the alarm doesn't work anymore. I'm not sure if we have a bus station. Again, that leads to the kitchen. And there's a paper towel on the counter. Interesting. Got some rodent droppings, which is not good. Not sure what those holes on another counter were used for. Maybe they were for the trash. We're done with the area, let's keep on moving. Not gonna lie, this is such a big looking building. The old Izzy's on Lancaster in Salem where I'm from was kinda small, but its layout, decoration, and both exterior and interior design were very similar to this one. The stone brick wall was the old rail station. We have a mini stair here. I heard someone on Facebook mention that long before this location went out of business, there were rats roaming around the building. Honestly, that's just unacceptable. I don't understand why Izzy didn't hire an exterminator to take care of the issue. Maybe they were trying to save money by cutting costs. An additional dining area would have been over here, as well next to those windows. Wow, it's a lot worse than I thought it was. It wasn't even like this years ago, when the building was still in decent condition. I just don't get why nobody wants to buy the property to turn into another restaurant of some sort. I think this is in a prime location. If a new restaurant were to take over, I'm sure it could attract foot traffic. Oh look, we got a compost station right here. The whole kinda looks exactly like the ones we saw in the other dining area earlier. So I guess there was a compost station as well, except the time was missing, which is why we couldn't figure out what it was used for at first. Government signs in specific areas inside abandoned buildings were extremely helpful because they gave us clues about what they were used for. And that's where the buffet station used to be, which we will check out at some point. This building is seriously gonna need major repairs. Realistically, I don't think it's possible, since this is going to be turned into a mini shopping complex like I mentioned earlier. There's so much ceiling insulation scattered throughout the dining area. And that is really new. I'm just surprised nobody bothered cleaning this place up. It doesn't look appealing to me. That really shows what abandonment looks like, just like other rundown buildings. Aside from that, I have never eaten at this Izzy before, but I have a brother-in-law who used to live around here in the 90s and early 2000s. I think it's possible that he and his family might have eaten here once during that time. I don't know about the other old Izzy's in Hillsborough. He probably went there as well. The building is no longer abandoned and has been converted into an urgent care center. Anyway, YouTube creator Adventure Adam, who happens to be from this area, found both abandoned Izzy's locations, including the one in the Hillsborough location, long before I covered this place. Go check out his videos, link in the description below. A huge shout out for him for making great content. And make sure to subscribe to his channel, you would really appreciate it. Now talking about Izzy's, I actually went to the one in Salem a few times, which I mentioned earlier. Their pizzas, salad, fried chicken, and desserts used to be really good back then. The last time I dined there was in February 2020, the day before I went to Hawaii. Where the overflow were. Honestly, I never knew that would be my last time eating there before they closed down for good. I also heard one of my cousins used to work there as a dishwasher many years ago, although I never saw him working. Anyway, years later in summer 2023, there was a way inside my old local Izzy's, and I somehow managed to film everything. If you haven't seen the footage, check it out. I heard the other Izzy's locations, including this one, used to be good throughout the 90s and early 2000s before they went downhill. Anyway, someone in the comment section of one of my older videos about this abandoned issue told me she personally knew the owner of the old Beaverton and Hillsborough locations. From what I was told, the owner was in a horrible car accident after being hit by a semi-truck and was hospitalized for quite a while. While she was hospitalized, her husband, business partner, and managers ran the locations. Not sure what it was. During that time, Izzy saw an opportunity to take over the Beaverton location, one of the top performing stores, and run it as a corporate home restaurant. Unfortunately, they ended up running it into the ground, and it closed shortly after. There are pieces of bathroom stores hanging around here. I don't know why they are here. Very strange. There are a few toilets near those windows too, which is even more crazy. Don't know why they're covered in plastic wraps. That might be the party room. We will check out in a moment. Over here, there used to be the beverage station. The area is so tiny. The counter doors look so nasty. Jesus, this is a nightmare. I have read a lot of bad reviews about this place online, and they had a 2.4 star rating on Google and a 2.2 star rating on Yelp. I can share some of the reviews from both platforms. On Google, one review from 2016 said the pictures from the buffet were the same when they arrived as they went left. He also said the buffet was disorganized and everything was cool. Anyway, when they told the waitress how they felt, she didn't seem to care and acted as if she heard it all the time. They didn't come back afterward because of the poor service. Not every place is always gonna have perfect service. That's just an unfortunate reality nowadays. Anyway, another review from 2015 that I want to share said the salad bar was good and that they washed the vegetables. She also said that all these utensils were dirty and the beverage bar was grimy. She pointed out that the real food was inedible. She mentioned there were many items on the buffet and they were very slow to refill them. The ice cream machine wasn't working and only vanilla was available. Service was fine, but not very attentive. Overall, she said it was very disappointing and not worth spending even $10. This is the men's bathroom with only a urinal and a sink. Anyway, moving on to Yelp. A review from 2016 mentioned that she saw a cow roach, which was not only gross, but also made her question what the kitchen might be like if there was one in the dining area. She also mentioned that the soup area smelled like red dog. Then she said someone at the nearby table found a hair in their food, which made her question her own meal. The waitress took the food away and threw it out, and the reviewer wasn't sure whether the issue was reported to anyone else. She stopped coming to issues afterward. Here's a women's room. Another Yelp reviewer mentioned that he and his wife visited for Sunday brunch. They ordered steak, but his wife's food wasn't brought to the table until halfway through the meal, and when it arrived, it wasn't cooked properly. He also had to tell the waitress 3 times that he never received his steak. Eventually, she told her he would do her a favor and forget about ordering altogether. He claimed that the Beaverton location would lose business if it continued operating that way, which he believes eventually happened. He also pointed out, like many other honest reviews, that the staff was not friendly and that waitresses often gave customers dirty looks whenever they asked for anything. Oh, there's a metal counter blocking our way. We got a cleaning supplies tray on the wall. That's cool. This is definitely the oldest washing station. It's pretty small. By the way, I have several videos of other abandoned issues in Oregon and Washington. If you haven't seen them all yet, check them out. I'm gonna open one of those small doors. I'm assuming this is a freezer room or something. Hard to tell otherwise. This window door looks classy to me. Here we have a better look at the old washing station. It must have been a stressful job washing plates, silverware, and whatnot all day long, and I would not want to be in that position. That's a no thank you for me. Haha. What in God's name is that? It looks like some sort of animal bones to me. If that is, then that's gross and disturbing. Here's another sink, as you can see. Not gonna lie, the kitchen looks very unrecognizable considering most of the equipment has been removed. This is creepy, like it has a backroom vibe. And got another sink over here. The soap dispenser is still around. There are a few more rooms to check, and it has to do it straight ahead. We'll do it soon. Let's check this. It's supposedly a video room. Anyway, for those of you who aren't familiar with Izzy's Pizza, it was kinda similar to hometown buffet or old country buffet, but on a smaller scale. I guess you could say it was like a hometown buffet and old school Pizza Hut had a baby. Izzy have buffet locations in Washington and California. I believe there used to be 2 branches in California, but they might have gone under the 1990s or so. At the time, they had like 40 locations or so. Here we have the circuit breakers. I tried to turn the lights on, but nothing happened. I'm assuming the city shut off the electricity and the same goes for the water. And that's too bad. The electrical burner used to power the kitchen equipment. Same thing over here. I'm assuming this is a storage room. This drawer will remain locked at all times. The room at the has some important things, if I have to guess. And that's the women's room we saw earlier. Looks like that's a fire sprinkler riser. And that's a retro looking sink. Here's another room, which I think is a dry storage. I had to make another video room. And there's another circuit breaker as well. It looks so dirty. Let's see what the video room looks like. Oh shoot, those things are dirty and sticky. I can see a few signs stating about sizes of pan crusts. And that's super cool. We're done. Let's keep checking the kitchen further. By the way, if anyone has particular memories of the whole Izzy before we went out of business, whether as a former customer or employee, please share them in the comments. I absolutely enjoy reading those kinds of comments. Otherwise, thank you very much. I'm sure it meant a lot to some people, though I understand not everyone likes Izzy's, since it has changed a lot over time. I personally like Izzy's, and I really miss those good times. The pizza buffet bar no longer exists, since there are no remaining locations. However, there is one place in Newport that used to be in Izzy's. It didn't go out of business, but instead changed its name while keeping most of the same food concepts and ingredients. Anyway, if you're wondering what the buffet place in Newport is called, it's the Hill Buffet and Grill. I went there 3 times years ago, and the food tasted exactly like my local Izzy's. We're gonna take a closer look at the old grill station. If customers want a steak and whatnot, this is where a cook would have prepped the meal right here. I remember having a few steak bites from my old local Izzy's, and I didn't like them because they were hard to chew, almost like rubber. I can still recall the taste. I do want to point out that the buffet building got renovated sometime in 2009. Otherwise, they always look the same till they close down for good. The polished floor over here looks hazardous. I'm not sure how that damages badly. I don't know if it's ever like that prior to closure. If that was the case, I'm sure she wouldn't have proof of this major flooring issue. Oh look, we have multiple light switches. I've seen something like this in a few abandoned areas before. I'm assuming these were meant to have alcohol at one point. There might have been shelves in the wall, if I had to guess. Look at that brown alcohol dispenser. That's real old school. Look at this. A ladder that goes up to the attic. It probably leads to a roof passage too. I would like to go up there, but I'm guessing it's probably pretty dirty inside. I also want to share something important about the founder of Izzy's Pizza. Most people are very aware of what happened with Izzy Colbert, but for those of you who aren't, she passed away at her home in March 2025 at the age of 97. It was sad when I heard the news. May she rest in peace, and my condolences go out to her family. Got more seeing over here. There's the additional piece of her pink insulation here. Now she right there's a mirror in the middle counter. The red sign says no one under 18 allowed to operate this machinery. Wonder what type of machinery though. I'm assuming it's something dangerous that kids shouldn't be messing with. There are two black swinging doors against the wall. I don't know why those doors are in the kitchen. Maybe they got broken at some point. Over here, this room is the manager's office. I like the yellow and dark pink color scheme on the walls. That looks like fire ashes to me. There's a hole in the ceiling. That's too bad. Same thing with the kitchen ceiling. I'm assuming there is some upstation here near the exit door. And that'll be it. That's enough for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. And until next time, see you on the other side.